Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and this is Wizardry 8. It's a good old game from 2001, I bought it, I played the hell out of it, I enjoyed it a lot, I haven't played it in a very long time, never finished it, and I had to just dive back in and give it a try. Now, before going any further, I do need to say that there is a potential game-breaking bug. And if that game-breaking bug does occur, it will be at a very specific point in the playthrough, about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through the game. If it occurs, it's completely unfixable. The only solution is to just scrap the save and start all over again. So if that happens, I think I'll just can the series, to be honest, but it's fairly rare. Essentially, there's a particular group of NPCs who at a point in the main storyline of the game will insist that the heroes undertake an underwater training mission, and this will they'll be given water diving suits, breathing apparatus, and they'll be told go into this flooded location, do some things, and I think come out on the other side and do some sort of assault training course. And basically the bug is that in the training area, occasionally, very rarely, in the training area, the diving suits and the breathing gear don't work. At all. They'll work later on in the area you're actually supposed to use them, but in that one area, for whatever reason, sometimes they just don't work. And if they don't work, it doesn't matter how many times you reload or anything, and it will happen pretty much as soon as you create the party and start the game, but you won't know until you got that far in and that out. So hey, it could happen. So basically, Wizardry 8. I was like 2001, I'd played Might and Magic 6, I'd played Might and Magic 7. I don't know if Might and Magic 8 had come out. Neverwinter Nights was either just released or coming very soon. And I was looking forward to this game, right? I'd seen a few adverts for it on the internet. They're saying, oh, it's Wizardry 8, it's the last one, the one that comes after Wizardry 7, we've all been waiting loads of years for this, and it looks really good. And you know what? When I first saw screenshots, it did look really good, right? And when it finally got released, it looked like it should have been released 1 or 2 years ago and was a little bit dated by that point, but it's still a lot of fun, right? You don't play this game for the graphics. You don't play it for the terrible voice acting. You play it for the hilarious comedic voice acting, because the writing just makes it brilliant. I had never heard of this series before. I've never played any of the first 7 games. I've done a little research into stuff that's gone on, but basically it's a weird sort of party-based game, very much in the vein of the old Might and Magic games before the developers decided to focus almost exclusively on the heroes of Might and Magic games because they were easier to make or something. I played lots of Wizardry 6, Wizardry 7, God, I had played Wizard and Warriors by then. I think it had come out around this point, hadn't it? Yeah. Got any rats? And those centaurs who strode around going, "On wings of steel we ride!" And it's like, what heavy metal drugs have you been taking, Mr. Centaur? Who looks like a fish with fish fins coming out the side of his face. But anyway, right. It's time to start a new game. So I was talking to my good friend and fellow YouTuber Tim, also known as Lotaeri, and he does call himself Tim a lot, so it's fine, about creating a character for this playthrough. And he liked the idea, and he does a lot of modding and tweaks a lot of... Oh good, some of my character files are actually in here. I'll have to look into that. That's weird. When did I put those in? Oh well. Right, so we have some default characters, but he agreed that playing a Gadgeteer would be perfect, but we're going to create a special Gadgeteer just for him. So this game has a complex labyrinthine system that really intrigues me and gets my autism going, right? We have races, we have classes, we have ability scores, we have loads of skills, different resistances, all sorts. It's got a very, very old school weapon and armor proficiency system where, if you're not a member of this class, you just can't use that gear, and if you decide to stop being your current class and become another class, you actually forget how to use the things you used to know how to do. Yeah, but even so, the gameplay, the character interactions, the commentary, all sorts of things are fun. Alright, so now Lotaeri likes to create mods. He's modified Darkest Dungeon, he's modified, I think he's modified like, what's it? That game that's like the old XCOM. Xenonauts or something like that. You know, he's done a few mods, and he likes to tinker and tweak and update things. So we're going Gadgeteer, right? And so every class has ability score requirements, and every race has starting ability scores. If we don't have the ability score requirements, our ability scores are raised to that minimum, and then we have a deficit of ability score points that will be paid off as we level until we reach the minimum ability scores and can then progress. You get 6 ability score points to level and can split them however you want. You can't put more than 3 into an ability score. It's complicated, as I said, and yet I like it. So the Gadgeteer requires strength for humping all that heavy stuff around, good intelligence, good dexterity, and senses. Oh yeah, so we'll get into stats in a bit. Experts in engineering, the Gadgeteer can make deadly devices from mundane items he finds during his travels. His ability to tinker is so legendary that his objects are sought the world over. Unfortunately, they are often so complex, but none but the Gadgeteer can use them. The Gadgeteer's natural engineering training has also taught him much about modern weapons and locks and traps. All Gadgeteers come with their own homemade weapon, the Omnigun. And the Omnigun is a remarkable piece of equipment. It levels with the Gadgeteer as they gain levels, and it's like, it starts out as a gun, you can shoot pebbles with it, right? Pebbles, rocks, shoot them. And then you get a bit higher and you get this kind of laser flash lens flare where you can like blind people a bit when you shoot it, and then it starts to be able to shoot throwing knives, shuriken, darts, poison darts. You know, it's like anything that is ammunition for a ranged weapon, the Omnigun can eventually shoot, right? It is literally the Omnigun. It will shoot anything. So primary skills, modern weapon, other profession skills, ranged combat, engineering, locks and traps. Okay, so these are mostly starting values. Starting equipment, yeah. Well, starting equipment is done by class. Now, there are a lot of races in this game, and I gave Lotaeri the option of all of the races, and he said he fancied the Rawulf, which are the dog people. Rawulfs are devout and hearty creatures, descending from a race of intelligent bipedal canines. They share their ancestors' caring personalities and thick coats, as well as traces of their strong vitality and keen senses. The Rawulf's unequalled piety makes them an excellent priest, lord, or Valkyrie. No racial abilities or traits. So we have our starters here. I'll just lock that in. So now we got 5 bonus points, as opposed to the sort of 10 or 15 most characters would usually have. And Lotaeri is a fellow, so we'll let him be a boy or a man. Okay. We only get the 5 starting bonus points. Right, we want some senses, some dexterity, some intelligence. We'll give him a little bit of strength, speed, and there we go. And we're on to the next. So yeah, 15 bonus points. Skill. We'll get onto that on the next tab, okay? Because this is going to take a bit of a while. Now, it's probably going to be a few weeks before I get this one going, because I've already got quite a lot going on the channel. I'll work towards getting something finished off to make room for this. But Lotaeri's away at the moment on a business trip, and he gets to sit around in a hotel room just watching YouTube videos and stuff in between conferences. So I thought I'd get this uploaded for him to look at, and if there's something he doesn't like and wants changed in character creation, like the ability score placement or something, now that's something I'm going to get into, because when an ability score reaches 100, it unlocks a unique skill that is only available when that reaches 100. And for a Gadgeteer, I think it's dexterity or senses that we want to hit 100 first. Now, with the level advancement, I'll tend to pump 2 or 3 points into the one I'm trying to get to 100 and then spread the others about relatively evenly. So 11 hit points, you die if you run out of them. Stamina, 106. It's used for attacks, and I think when you get hit, spell points are used for magic. The Gadgeteer doesn't do magic. Armor class reduces damage, carrying capacity, how much stuff you can carry. Carrying is slightly interesting in this game. The character has their individual inventory, which is the stuff they've got on them, and then there's the party inventory for all the stuff that no one in particular is carrying. However, the weight of the party inventory is actually split and distributed evenly among all the party members, whereas if a party member is carrying something, they're carrying the whole thing. So it's better off to give people the things you want them to carry and give the heavy things to the stronger people. Now resistances are a little interesting. They work in with magic, but then our Rawulf here, he's not going to do much magic. Right, rank 1 novice. So characters can change career at any point, but they have to, if they don't meet the requirements, I think they have to build up to requirements, and if they meet them, it's a bit weird, but I tend not to change careers in this game. Okay, so this is a primary skill. This means it will level faster. Primary skills receive a 25% bonus on top of their current value. So we will put a point in there. We'll put a point in throwing and sling. Close, ranged. Right, close combat, hitting things with close combat weapons. Ranged combat, shooting things, throwing things. So anytime you attack with any sort of close combat weapon, close combat goes up. Individual weapon skills will be for the actual weapon using. So sword and dagger are close combat, staff and wand generally close combat, shield is a separate defensive skill, modern weapon, which is guns, bow and throwing and sling are ranged weapons. Artifacts is used for identifying objects, right? Mythology is used for identifying creatures. Communication is for talking to people. Now, all of these skills go up at their own rate. Oh, we want to max locks and traps out early on, because not everybody in the party can get this. Engineering. Engineering is used for the Gadgeteer building things, but I think it might affect the Omnigun's level rate as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off a point of mythology, because of the times where Tim will say, "Oh my god, what's that? That's amazing!" And we can knock off 1 point here. We're probably going to want to give him some kind of close combat weapon, because even though the Omnigun can shoot anything and can be shot pretty much point blank, we kind of want to be able to conserve the ammunition in the early game. Okay. I want to kind of put it here. Right. And here we have our Rawulf. There are a number of portraits. Just 4. We can go with this one or that one. I think this one looks a bit more like a bear, but I think this one and this one are the women, and this one and this one are the men. Most of the races have 2 male and female portraits. Some have 3. And we will call him Terry Lot. Nickname Tim. Right, and for a sound set, I think we want eccentric 2. Yes!
He was happy to join. He thought it would make an exciting chapter in his book.
This sound set has a habit of constantly referring to himself in the third person, which is something Lotaeri does a little bit sometimes during... Well, he doesn't refer to himself in the third person, but he talks to himself like, come on Tim, you can do this. And this is the closest I can get with one of these sound sets, although they are quite funny. This one is hilarious for a main party frontliner.
Sure, I'm itching to do something wild and reckless anyway.
Okay, well, I'll just go through the tests of these anyway. So Tim, if you're watching, let me know if you like one of these so much that you'd really want to use that instead. Otherwise, I'll give you the one I originally picked.
There are two kinds of people, hunters and their prey. Let me assure you, I am one of the hunters.
Sure, if he's really French, he would say hunters.
Yeah, slice him, dice him, no sense being nice to him. That's my motto.
Crikey. Oh, it's been so long since I last listened to these.
I would be honored to assist your brave band in its explorations. That is, I'd like to come along.
It's always a nice one for a party wizard or a priest or something, that one.
You're going to need someone of my superior intelligence. Some call it ego, but I call it talent.
You know, maybe that one would be a good one for Terry Tim or Terry Lot.
You want me fight? I fight.
Oh guys, please don't let me use that one, that's just kind of painful.
'Tis wit, not strength, that make a solid lad. But I be lucky to have both.
Oh, fun.
What do you want? If it walks, I can change that.
I'm just going to check I'm recording actually, because yeah I am, that's fine. Oh, okay, and option 2.
Ordinary men fear the power of darkness. I revel in it.
You know, with those facial expressions, that kind of works quite ominously.
Just between you and me, I'm the perfect guy for this job. What do you say?
Ooh, maybe. You know, as a gadgeteer, just kind of like, you know, just saying, I got the parts, you know, I got the stuff.
You need? I do it. Just don't put it in writing.
I'll just play that again. Sorry, I talked over it.
Is it something you need? I do it. Just don't put it in writing.
Alright, alright.
I believe there is something unseen in all things seen. It is that which I attempt to reveal, you see?
Oh, the elderly wizard sound set. There's this hilarious line he has, where if like a fellow party member dies, he say, "Do not be afraid. I see he has gone to the afterlife, where all things are nice and pleasant." Oh no, it's when it coming back from the dead. And he makes this song about nubile young women. What? But you took me away from it all.
He was happy to join. He thought it would make an exciting chapter in his book.
So that's what I'm thinking as default for this character, but I haven't fully decided yet.
By my honor, I swear I'll protect you from danger.
Don't worry about a thing, friend. I'll take care of it for you.
This guy's like a hippie, he's like totally mellow, he's like, I'll take care of it for you.
Well, hello there. I think I hear the open road calling our names. Say, isn't that a song?
Oh dear.
Who can make the muddy water clear? Let the water be still, and it will become clear on its own.
So again, the quality of the voice acting is dreadful, but over the course of the adventure, the sheer comedic value of the stuff they come out with is just bonkers.
Alright, but don't expect me to waste my time yakking.
Okay. He was a bit succinct, wasn't he?
Sure, I'm itching to do something wild and reckless anyway.
Okay, so Tim, if you're watching this, I'm going with this sound option for you, but if you really liked one of the others and want me to use that, I'll change it. So I'm going to save this character, and then I'll do a little bit of a talk about party composition. Yeah. So, the way the game is played is we have our party of 6 characters and potentially 2 NPC hirelings who will join in as well. The party is arranged on a circular grid. There's front rank, back rank, left flank, right flank and centre. And characters in each of these positions can reach one space to the side, so people in the centre can reach out to the front, back, left and right, but no further. People in the front can reach forwards into the space in front of the party, and to the left and right a bit, and the middle, but not the back, or behind the back. People in the back. So essentially, you can reach your own zone and one adjacent zone. Reach weapons like spears can reach further. And the party can change facing, it can rotate. Sorry, I'm moving my hands around, it's not very helpful. It's a lot easier to see in-game and easier to explain, but I haven't got that set up yet. So, as far as the party formation goes, normally I'd have something like Valkyrie, Fighter, Ranger, Gadgeteer, Wizard and Priest. However, the Wizard or the Priest might get replaced by a Bishop. Let's just take a moment to look at the classes. So the Fighter is straight up warrior. They use the fighter equipment, they use it well. The Lord is a weird kind of almost paladin, but dual wielding rapier and dagger guy. It's a bit wonky and it kind of works, but weird. The Valkyrie is the only class with a strict, like, yeah, this is gender neutral, you play a woman, this one, none of this identify as a woman nonsense. She is basically a warrior type with a few priest spells, and she has a ability to survive death, the cheat death ability, which basically means if she gets taken down, she actually goes into a kind of unconscious stun state, and then she has to be like and get some kind of buffer health, and then when that's worn off, she's really dead. And she can be brought back from unconscious and stuff during that time, or eventually recover on her own, and is a pretty durable character. The samurai is a samurai. It's exactly what it sounds like. Okay? Likewise for ninja, it's a ninja. The monk is a kind of oriental warrior monk who's different to the ninja, less of an assassin, more of a spiritual character. The rogue is your basic all-round thief, but we'll probably get one of those as a party member during the game. We'll probably get a Valkyrie and a rogue fairly early on, but I like to have my own party Valkyrie because the hirelings don't stay with the party for the whole game. The Gadgeteer makes stuff. They make stuff, they shoot things from the Omni gun, they have a hell of a time. The Bard is apparently a really powerful character class, but because of all of the gimmicky items they can use. But individually they're not that great. I haven't tried the Bard myself very much. Right, the Priest is a religious character. They do lots of faith-related miracles. The Alchemist uses alchemy. Hard to explain. Right, the Bishop, the Psionic, right, the Mage is your Wizard, the Priest is your Priest. There are something like 6 different schools of magic. The Alchemist uses alchemical spells that not everyone has access to, like throwing flasks of acid and things like that. The Psionic uses mind magic, and the Bishop, which I'm going to select here, the Bishop gets to use all the different spell schools, but they obviously progress a lot more slowly because of that. So if I do go over Bishop, and it's the playing with a bishop is the only way to guarantee you're going to get a chance to use everything. But it does mean that either your mage or priest is significantly less powerful because they're the bishop and trying to do everyone else's job as well. Now, races, we have humans, they're exactly what you'd think. The elves are also, the elves, dwarfs, gnomes and hobbits, they're exactly what you think. Fairy, it's literally a fairy, right? You play a tiny little blue fairy and have, rather limited equipment options. The lizard man is a great big massive lizard man. They're good for kind of warrior type jobs and just really tough, but a bit slow. The Drakon are dragon men, right? They have the ability to breathe acid. The Felper are cat people, and everyone knows cats are better, so we might just have to have one of those, okay? The Rawulf is the dog people, and the Mook are Wookiees. Literally Wookiees in a fantasy game. And what makes things better is that if we have a Mook in the party, it will make one particular quest in the game significantly easier. Okay? So I'm not particularly set on a particular party makeup. I'd probably like to go with something like, okay. So I'm not particularly set on a particular party makeup, but I might have a jolly good bash, with something fairly standard. But if any of you viewers would like to be represented by a character in this party, just let me know what class and race you'd like and what name you'd like for the character. I'm going to be eventually getting into this over time, this isn't something I'm going to rush into, and when I do, it'll probably just be like one episode a week, an extra little bit of fun on the side. But hey, I hope you all enjoy it anyway, and if not, then I hope I just enjoyed playing it again. Once again, Lotaeri, Tim, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, because I'm going to bloody well give you a link to this and go, oi, watch it, watch now, please let me know if you'd like one of the different portraits for your dog person, for your Rawulf, and if you'd like one of the other sound sets. But for now, I'm going to leave this one here and get it uploaded, and see you when this resumes. Bye for now, guys.